Hey, what's up everybody? Wes here. Thanks for tuning in. If you've got a pair of tow mirrors, whether they're OEM or from Boost Auto like mine, you can now change the color of the lenses super easy. They're definitely interchangeable. All you have to do is pick up a pair of lenses from Boost Auto. The shipping process was super quick. All you have to do is navigate over to their website and then select the tow mirror lights for your make and model and then choose your preferred specs. First thing you're going to want to do is pick your lens color. You'll choose smoked or clear, and then there's different functions that you can add in as signal, running, switchback, things like that. Choose if you're having an OEM mirror or if it's a Boost Auto mirror, and if you have spotlight functions or not. And then all you have to do is just go ahead and place that order and you're ready to go and get these installed. Now these lights did come very well packaged. It came undamaged, everything was in great shape, and they also have some plastic over the front here to keep them from getting scratched up, but they seem to be super high quality build. And just to keep from getting things confused, they do have a left and a right marker here on the package, that way you know what you're working with. And since this is the right side, this is the passenger side, we'll go ahead and get it installed. Since we're going to be unplugging the power wire for the light itself, it's a good idea to go ahead and before you get started and just remove the negative battery terminal. That way we don't have any electrical issues moving forward with the install. So first things first, you want to go ahead and pull the mirror out and then push it in to make it easier to work with. Then we're going to pop out the top glass. Just lean it all the way in, kind of put your fingers under there and then give it a pull. There's 3 tabs here that need to release. These particular mirrors have the mirror heat as well as the blind spot monitoring. So I'm going to go ahead and disconnect that so I can get the glass freed up and out of the way. So depending on your mirror, you may or may not have these features or functions. Just make sure everything's disconnected and move on to the lower glass. So for the lower glass, you'll just push it downwards, and you can see here I've already kind of popped these tabs out. So kind of reach down as far as you can and unclick as many of them as you can with a flathead screwdriver, and then it should just come out really easily. I didn't really have to force it or anything. It just kind of popped right out. And I'll show you here on the back side kind of what you're dealing with. So these are all 6 tabs that you just want to get disconnected and moved out of the way. On this next step, you're going to remove these 5 screws that are kind of pushed back in these recessed holes, and I'm going to use this magnet to help catch them or just to kind of draw them out. And you don't have to use a drill for this. I went ahead and did that for this portion, just made it a little bit quicker. You can just use a simple Phillips head screwdriver to get all these removed, but just pull them out, get them kind of put aside, and we'll be moving on to the next step. Don't just throw them on the ground like I did with that one. But either way, get those out and we'll go ahead and get this top cover removed. And it's really easy. It's just going to have 3 little tabs here that you can see. Just kind of take that same flathead screwdriver and just kind of pry back and get it ready to release. Once all those tabs are down, you can just kind of roll it out and it'll click out of place. And this is a part here that also can be replaced or changed to a different color, but we'll just go ahead and put this aside now and proceed to the next step, which is going to be to get this front face off of the tow mirror. And with those 5 screws already removed from the earlier step, this thing's already loose and ready to go. You just got to kind of pop it out. It's got a couple of clips that holds it in place, but it's a pretty hassle-free step and easy overall. So just get that removed and we'll put it aside and move on to the next step. At this point in time, we're ready to go ahead and disconnect the actual marker light or the signal light here that we're replacing. There's a main harness that goes into it. I've also got the puddle lights here. Yours may or may not have that. So if you have that, you'll need to just disconnect that to get it removed, and also the temperature gauge. So this piece here has a little tab that just slides back, and then you remove this plug and just kind of push it aside under your puddle lights if you have that option. And then I actually didn't disconnect the temperature sensor before removing this back shroud. It's not a big deal. Just kind of pop it out right after the fact. But just go ahead and do that up front. That way you don't have to hold the back shroud. And now this thing's starting to look kind of Terminator style, but don't be worried. We're done taking it apart at this point. Now it's time to go ahead and get it all the way put back together. Now that we've got the light and the shroud over on the tailgate, we're just going to remove that. This was a Boost Auto lens. If you have an OEM lens, it's the same thing. It just pulls right out, and then we're just going to do a direct replacement for the ones that we just picked up here. I'm going from the white clear lens to a smoked amber lens, and it's going to have running and signal lights. But it just pushes into place. It actually fits in pretty snugly. Once you get it in there, it's actually going to kind of hold on its own. Don't tempt it. I mean, it's definitely going to hold, you can see here, but just kind of make sure that it doesn't fall out while you get this next step going, which is going to be to get this back shroud put back onto the actual tow mirror. And it's a little tricky to get it in place, but once it snaps in, you can tell it's in the right place. Everything just fits nice and snug. And then we're just going to go ahead and reverse everything, get it all wired back up, connect our temperature sensor, our main harness, as well as our puddle lamp. Next, we'll grab these wires and fish them through this little square portion of this cover. and then get it pushed back into place. Once you kind of get it lined up, it'll pretty much click in, and then you'll be ready to go ahead and add the screws back in that we removed earlier. Again, be careful if you're using a drill. Phillips head is a little slower, but it's going to be safer. But either way, just get this thing reconnected, and then just reconnect that little shroud. It just clicks right back into place. Again, there's those 3 clips, and you'll hear them click right into place. So that goes on no problem. And you can actually see them here on the front. That's the same ones that we used the flathead on earlier. Now it's time to get our glass reconnected. And since these tow mirrors have the mirror heat and the blind spot monitoring, we're just going to hook those back up and get everything reconnected. Once that's done, you'll see those 3 metal pins sticking out of the glass. We're just going to line that back up on the tow mirror and then get everything pushed back into place. And it's best if you can kind of line them up and then push with some even pressure. Don't push all the way on one side or the other. Just use your flat palm, hold the back of it, and you'll feel it snap right into place. And then that top mirror is good to go. It's the same thing with the lower mirror. These little tabs just go around that adapter there and just push it right in, and you'll feel it click right into place. But just try to remember to use even pressure from the front and then hold the mirror from the back. You'll be good to go. So now everything's completely installed. We're just going to peel off the little bit of plastic here and have a look at it. Super awesome. I do like the smoked look on this truck better because it does have a lot of black features. So I wish I would have went with this setup initially. So I'm super glad to get this installed now. In hindsight, it would have been good to test this before I put it all back together, but luckily it does work. I just used the key fob and it did the startup sequence. So this one does have that as an option. So you can see here, it kind of does like a little flashing effect. Looks very cool. I definitely like this look. In the future, we're going to have some light up running boards also from Boost Auto. That's going to be in the next video, so definitely stay tuned for that. But in this one here, we're looking at the actual marker lights here for the mirrors, and I really like these. It's a good addition. It's also nice just to be able to customize and mix and match them and do different colors and do different features. They've got the awesome turn signal set up, but it really just makes this truck look really good. Super thankful to have them on. And just to be honest, I was pretty nervous about taking these tow mirrors apart. Wasn't sure if I'd be able to pull it off, but in hindsight, it was super easy. I'm really glad I did it. I really like the look overall. And I think if this is something that you're shooting for, and if you just have a little bit of technical ability whatsoever, you should be able to pull this off no problem. And for those of you who may not know, or maybe you've never ordered anything from Boost Auto, they're a super awesome company, really easy to work with. You can get them on the phone, you can get them on the email. They have all kinds of super awesome videos out there showing you how to do these installs. They have mirror assemblies, cab lights, light up running boards, wireless charging pads, key fobs, all kinds of awesome products for your ride. So feel free to check them out. I'll have links for all these in the description below. But if you have questions about this video or the install or anything that you want to shoot my way, definitely feel free to drop those in the comments and I will reach back out to you as soon as I can. And just as a reminder, don't forget to tune into the next video where I'm going to be highlighting and installing these M1 running boards, the Luma Steps by Boost Auto. Super awesome. They go in conjunction with the turn signals and the running lights on the actual tow mirrors themselves. So I think it's something that you're really going to enjoy. But until then, I really appreciate you tuning in and I will catch you next time. All right, peace.